What's up, gang? Welcome to my very first live here on YouTube. I hope this is one of my many lives I will be doing with you guys. Um, this live is basically going to be about how to get in histology and some tips and tools that you guys can use in order for you guys to be successful. Let's just do a little introduction. First, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for joining this live. If you guys are watching on the replay, just make sure you put replay fam down in the bottom in the comment section. Also, my name is Shanika. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Shanika and I am a histologist here in California. A little background about me is I've been a histotech now for going on 6 years, and this year makes my 6 years, and I am still to this day learning something new and fresh, and histology never ever gets boring. So my histology career, basically my background is derm. I did some Mohs, I did frozens, and of course general histology. But I hope that this live actually, you guys take away a lot of good information from this live so you guys can be successful on your histology journey. I also was a traveler for 2 years of my 5.5 years of becoming a histotech. And being a traveler literally helped me to be where I'm at today. I would definitely suggest, if you guys are students or if you guys are thinking about a career in histology, maybe sometime in your life, if you have the opportunity to travel, it would be amazing, an amazing opportunity. So in these current lives that I'm going to be doing, I want to be able to make sure that I want to be able to make sure that we actually go over some tips and some tools to help you be successful in histology. And what that means is the fact that I want you guys to understand that I know in real life, the lab is nothing like you probably thought it was going to be. Trust me, I know. Because uh, every lab is going to be different. And I make sure that I tell you guys that in each and every video, every lab is going to be different. So I want to make sure that I help to prepare you guys in the laboratory, not become your teacher, of course, but with these lives, we can definitely offer some live Q&As. You guys want to call in and ask me questions, just so we can build our community and get to know each other. That is definitely the key to, having these successful lives. But let's go ahead and talk about how I got into histology and, just a little bit of, where I'm at today in my career path. So as far as histology is concerned, literally didn't even know histology even existed. I was in community college, and if you guys watch my introduction to histology, you guys will know that I literally, like many of you guys, stumbled across the field of histology. And my first, maybe couple weeks in school, I was just thinking to myself, like, what in the hell, are we talking about? I've never heard any of these terms or any of I didn't even know histology existed. And I'm not sure I'm alone in this, but I never knew histology existed. So I was looking to transfer from community college, and I lived in Florida, Orlando, Florida. So if you guys actually go to Kaiser, that is the school that I went to. I went to Kaiser. And Kaiser was hella expensive. I have to tell you guys, it was really, really expensive. It literally, it was probably like a few grand per class. But it ended up being the best thing I probably could have done. So whenever I got into school, of course, there was all these biology people who actually knew what they were doing. A lot of people who had already been in school, but then there was a couple of older people who were trying to have, a career change. So learning something new was definitely a challenge. And whenever, I didn't have any type of background. I came from customer service, and I was really just thinking, man, I need to make more than $11 an hour. Like, what can I do to make more money? Like, I didn't know what I could do because I didn't want to be a nurse, and I didn't want to, I really didn't know what I want to do. I'm not really a person who likes school. So I was thinking to myself, like, what can I do to make money? Like, how can I get out of this call center? Because I worked at a call center and I like customer service, but it was just, I was so used to doing face-to-face customer service or, call center type jobs. Because really in Orlando, there's really not a lot of things you can do unless you have a degree. So I was thinking to myself, like, what can I do? I'm poor. I'm poor. Like, literally. So I decided, you know what? Hey, let me check out a couple of schools to see if there's something that interests me. And that's when I found Kaiser University in Orlando, Florida. And I think there's a school also too in Southern Florida in Miami. And those were the only two schools at the time who actually offered histology. But I really didn't even know, what I was going to do and how I was going to make more money, because I was living paycheck to paycheck. And so I decided to go ahead and start the program, and I took a tour of the school, and I saw that, I could work in the lab. And I'm thinking, like, okay, like, that sounds pretty cool. I don't have to have patient contact, but, I didn't have to go to school for a long time. I already had my prereqs, and I was thinking, like, okay, like, wonder what I can do to get just a quick career and actually enjoy it. So I went ahead and started school. And when I tell you guys, like, I literally did not know anything that was going on in school. Like, if you guys are students now and you just feel lost, or you just feel like, oh my God, like, I really don't know what's going on, that was me. Like, that was me. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Like, I really did not understand anything. But the school is like really fast paced. So again, I was lost there. And mentally, I just need to get a grip on what I was studying. But I tried to make sure that whatever I was studying, that I made sure I literally just studied for the exams to pass the class, and then so I can graduate and take the state board. Now, fast forward, whenever, looking back now, whenever I was whenever I was in school, there was no one talking about histology, like, absolutely no one. And it makes me feel good when you guys are telling me, hey, I'm so glad I found your channel. But there was like nobody talking about histology at all. So I would try to look up little things like how to embed, or, how to cut, how to study for the ASCP, some study tips, some study guides, and it will be absolutely nothing. Dude, I was just like, I'm screwed, because who's going to help me? Who's going to help me get through, school? So what I did is I got through school and I graduated, and I literally I took my test maybe a few months, out the gate, maybe like 3 to 4 months, literally after I got out of my, clinicals. I didn't even allow myself enough time to really digest and study Frida Carson. So it really didn't do me any good. So everything that I'm teaching you guys is based upon my mistakes. It's never based upon what I did right. It's based upon my mistakes. So mistake number 1 that I made was taking my test so quickly right after my clinicals, to the point to where, like, I didn't even get to even like study and digest Frida. So my first tip of this live stream will be to make sure that you take your time studying your book while you are in clinicals. If you are able to, just go to clinicals only and just say, not work. If you're able to do your clinicals, then I would definitely suggest that, after your clinicals, try to apply for that lab that you are currently working at. I remember this lady who, was in my class. She actually applied and she became, she worked in a grocery room, and she wasn't even certified yet. So it's just that connection that you can make, one-on-one with, some of the employees as a student. Just try to get your foot in the door. That is like the major key is, if you are at clinical, if you are at a clinical site, then try to make those connections and get your foot in the door. Really, really important. I don't mean, try to kiss ass or try to, you know, just try to be friends with everyone. But if you can establish some type of relationship with, the supervisor or with another histotech or someone who can maybe suggest, hey, we should keep this student, and they see that you're a hard worker during your clinicals, I would definitely suggest, if you are doing your clinicals at the lab, try to see if you can stay. And you may not get paid really, really good, but the goal is to make sure that you are in a lab, getting that information and getting that, you just soaking up and you're being, surrounded by the environment. Like whenever I was in my clinicals, I wish that I would have thought about staying with the lab. And at that time, it was like, I think like Durham Path or Ameripath, and now they're owned by Quest. But I really wish that like I had like stayed with that lab and just like, maybe grossed a few tissues. But, I didn't really have that confidence in myself because I'm thinking like, man, I really don't know shit. Like I was thinking to myself, like, I really don't know anything. And I didn't want to embarrass myself because I didn't know anything. So that would be my first really, really great, resources to, you are externing or you're doing your clinicals at a lab. Try to see if they will keep you on even after your clinicals, so that way you can be in that work environment and, able to, study for your test as you're actually working in a histology lab. What goes along with that is try to find a job in a lab. And a lot of us work full time and a lot of us go to school full time. But if you do have the privilege of, just going to school only and you need a job after your clinicals is done, try to maybe find your first job as a lab tech. Now, do not think that I am, basically what I'm saying is start from ground zero. If you know that you're about to be a histotech and you've done your clinicals and you're studying for the ASCP, apply to be a lab tech, because at the end of the day, the goal is to make sure that you are getting inside of a histology lab. The competition is really, really tense. There's competition in histology. Like I really didn't think about it until maybe whenever like I got probably whenever I was in school and I was going to Kaiser, and they told me that Kaiser was the only school in Florida that offered the histology program. So to me, like a lot of schools offer nursing, a lot of schools offer, radiology, a lot of schools offer, there's schools, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, like just there's so many different schools. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I really didn't understand like how steep the competition was when it came to, histology. So I really didn't have any hopes for myself of getting a job, because I'm thinking like, I really don't want to work at these main hospitals because they was crappy in my opinion. But, I didn't apply for those jobs because I really didn't think that I would get hired, because when you have someone who's making straight A's right beside you, or you have someone who has, a biology degree, and then now they're coming to school for histology, on the resume, they topped me. So I really didn't think that I would be able to get a job as quick as someone, who had that background. So basically, if you can get a job in a lab, things are a lot better now, because a lot of places I didn't understand back then was they will hire you as a grocer, they will hire you as a lab tech, they will hire you but you may not get paid a lot of money, but you know, the sacrifice is definitely worth it. So I would definitely encourage you guys to, you know, get into a histology lab if you can. The next tip that I wish I knew was, like I said, don't rush your studying. Man, like I rushed my studying after school because I was just thinking about I need to get a job, I need to get a job, and I failed my first test, and I don't even think that I even completed the whole book. I think I maybe, I don't know, like I really didn't even still understand Frida Carson, and I failed my first exam, and I mean that was like $200 and something that I truly didn't have to go and take the exam again. So honestly, like I waited a long ass time before, you know, I decided to take my test. I was discouraged, and I'm thinking like, you know, with rent and, you know, being with rent and my family and just trying to survive, I really didn't have the money to keep taking the test and keep taking the test. So I wish that, you know, well, not really, because things play out the way they're supposed to play out. But for you guys, do not be discouraged if you do not pass the test the first time. Do not be discouraged if you don't pass the test the second time, the third time, because you have 5 times to pass the test. So it's just, it is what it is. Some people are not test takers, so you may not pass the test the very first time. It may take you a few times, but do not be discouraged if it takes you like that fifth time to, you know, pass the test. And what I definitely suggest is, if you are taking the test, wait to schedule the test after you know that you have at least gotten halfway through Frida. Like when you know that you've gotten halfway through your book and you feel confident enough to like, okay, like I'm going to go ahead and schedule for this test. At least wait till you've gotten like halfway there. Do not, in my opinion, at the gate schedule the test and it's like it's sort of like a race, you know, between time. Like, oh my God, I need to hurry up and take this test. And yeah, it's just don't do that. But let me see. Another thing that I would probably suggest is the first year will be a little redundant whenever you are working in a histology lab. It'll be a lot of embedding. It's going to be a lot of cutting. But when you think about it, that's literally like, you know, the meat and potatoes of the lab, embedding and cutting. So you may get to the point to where you're like, damn, like, why am I still embedding? Why am I still cutting? I want to do other things. But just sometimes some labs may not need you to do other things. And, you know, you may be beneficial, you know, doing what you're doing. But yeah, just don't focus on, you know, what you're not doing, but focus on how can you make what you're doing, you know, the best. So that's really, really important. So do not, you know, be discouraged if you're not moving along as fast as another student in school. Do not be discouraged if you are not moving as fast as, you know, another histotech when, you know, compared to maybe a tenured histotech. The goal is to make sure that you focus on yourself. That's like the biggest tool that I can give you guys, is to focus on yourself and to focus on how you're going to take yourself to the next level. Because listen, no one's going to take you there. You're going to have to take yourself to the next level. You're going to have to make sure that you want to grow and you want to be successful. And you're going to have to make sure that, you know, you take those necessary steps to do that. Because at the end of the day, nothing is going to be handed to you. You're going to have to prove yourself in histology. You're going to have to, just like any other job, just like out here in life, you're going to have to prove yourself. And those are the things that I really want you guys to take away from, you know, this live. And if you guys are watching on the replay, like I said before, make sure that you, you know, put down replay, fam. And if you guys are getting value out of this live, please make sure to thumbs up this live so I know to continue to do these live streams. And we'll get into more things in different live streams, and we'll get into more things about like job interviews, resume interview tips, how to start traveling if you guys are considering traveling. Just it's histology is one of those things to where like every day I am noticing that even I don't know a lot, and I don't even pretend to have it all together. And that's the beauty of histology. That's how you're going to succeed. You'll never want to get to the point to where you think you know it, or you think you know what you're doing, or have that confidence, yeah, but you never want to get to the point to where you think that you can't make mistakes. Because one thing we will do on this channel is we will make sure that we keep it real here, and we'll make sure that we dive deep into how a histo lab can really be, whether it's a toxic environment, whether it's a positive environment, whether it is an environment that you can grow from. But the main goal is patient care, which we understand. But sometimes our peers, whether it's lab techs, histotechs, supervisors, management, sometimes they can get the best of us to where we can lose focus on what we're really there for. And I know it sounds so cliche, it does, but the focus is patient care. And that's what I want to make sure that I'm bringing to you guys, on this platform, is even with all the drama that could probably happen in the lab, but even, with all the setbacks that you may have in school, or even with all the setbacks that you may have finding a histology job, there's always going to be a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is how you're going to grow. How are you going to overcome those setbacks? How are you going to overcome just in the day-to-day that happens in the histology lab? Because these are things that a lot of people don't see. The patients don't see it because they're just getting their biopsies, but we still have to work with each other as histotechs. So I haven't done a video on other histotechs and how they can affect you at work, and I haven't done a video on drama in the histology lab, or I haven't done a video on how you can learn how to filter yourself in a histology lab and still be able to work with others without choking their asses pretty much, because this is real life shit. Because we are there for the common good, but at the end of the day, everyone doesn't want you to win, period. Everyone does not want you to win. Everyone does not want you to succeed or go to the next level. So I'm going to be that girl who's going to help you guys, and myself at the same time, go to the next level, succeed, how to overcome obstacles, how to grow in histology lab, successful tips and tools for ASCP. Everything that I didn't do and everything that I didn't have here on histology is the reason why I created my platform, and that is the reason why I want to make sure that I start connecting with you guys and growing our histology community. So, of course, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for joining me in my live today. I will definitely do another live. I'm just making sure that I got everything set up and together, because there was some technical difficulties. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Just trying to make sure like streaming and things like that. But I want you guys to be a part of this community, and I want you guys to make sure that you join. If you got any comments, you can definitely leave them down below so I can go ahead and answer them before we go ahead and end this live. But just as we go along in this journey, I want to make sure that everything that I put out for you guys as far as video content is little bit, is a little bit deeper here in these lives, so I can be able to answer your questions, go more into depth about certain things about histology. And it's a lot of things that I really don't know about histology, so I definitely want you guys to be able to share that with me. Any tips you guys got from me as far as like video ideas, I definitely would love to hear those, because it's a lot. It's a lot on me coming up with every single topic. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream today, and do not forget to thumbs up the stream if you guys found any helpful introduction 101. This is just the top layer of the cake. So once your girl gets comfortable with these streams, and once you guys, start to fill in and let's get our community growing, then it's going to be a safe place for you guys, to where you guys can tell me what's going on, tell me how you're feeling, tell me how your day was on the stream. That's the type of community I'm trying to build. So do not forget to join the game if you have not joined, and if you want to see more live streams from me, and I will see you guys later. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Bye.